Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Faces for Autism streaming with love telephone. I'm Jacob Hackett. You've heard from several experts tonight in the field of education and other topics. Now it's time to discuss another topic that's been on everyone's mind the past few years: the mental health of students and work-based learning. Here to tell us more with what Cape May County Special Services is doing in regards to those topics. Please welcome guidance counselor Erin Owen. Erin, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the time.
Yes, Erin, my first question, tell us how you got started.
I'm relatively new to the state of New Jersey. I was in special education in Ohio for many, many years. My family moved out here to New Jersey about 5 years ago. I was a special educator as well as a school guidance counselor in the state of Ohio. Came over to New Jersey, did a few other things, and found my way down here to Cape May County Special Services. So I've been here, this is my third year here, and I collaborate with many different administration, teachers, and specifically our CBI, our community-based instruction and work-based learning program, because a big part of my job is school to life transition and making sure that our students, when they leave here, at special services and they go out into the world, that they're prepared for living within their community as well as working within their community if that's what they're choosing to do.
Yeah, and independence also, you would hope, whether
Absolutely.
whether it's minimal, in the middle, or full, you want them to leave you at the age of 21 living full and productive lives.
Absolutely. And we definitely take it on an individualized basis. And we know, we look at it through the supports that students need to make them as independent as possible. So we truly look at every student as an individual and provide them the supports and services that they need to guide them. And, it's great to see students throughout the years where they start and when they leave us, all the strides that they've made to be an impactful person in society. It's great.
Sure, and I know it leaves you feeling with a warm feeling in your heart, like knowing I did. I feel at the end of the day, I feel like I did something good.
Yeah, and we want our students to feel that way about themselves, about what they're doing, and we want them to feel a sense of purpose, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of pride, whether it's they're here in school with us or they've made that transition into adult life where they're kind of out on their own. Just to wake up every day and feel proud of themselves, feel like they're doing something within their community that benefits people and benefits themselves.
Yep. Um, Moving on, as you mentioned, and as I mentioned in your intro, uh, tell us what Cape May is doing as far as work-based learning.
So right now, Michelle Ridgway is our community-based instruction and work-based learning coordinator. Right now, we have sites at Congress Hall in Cape May, Acme in Cape May Courthouse, ShopRite, let's see, and the Cape May County Zoo. And we also have students that are independently working. So they're in our school to work program at two different ACMEs. So we have students kind of all over the place. Some of our students are in a paid position. where they work. Some students, because of the supports and things that they need, they're in a role where they're not quite paid yet, but they're working their way towards that. We have job coaches that go out with our students in a small group that will check in on students to make sure that whatever job that they're doing that day, that they understand how to do it, that they're performing it well. They're there for support if they have questions. Um, but we don't send a lot of our students out without some kind of support, just so that they know that they do have a, an adult that they know that they can go to if they need something. We also have mentors in each of those sites. There are people that are employed by those sites that the students can also go to if they have questions, or they're not sure of what they're exactly supposed to be doing. Some of our students do the same jobs every single time that they go to a site, and sometimes our students will show up and they're given a different job to do for that day. So it's very individualized. It's very based on what the students skill set is, what their interests are, and what their level of support is. So that kind of determines where the placements are for the students, where they go.
Yeah, and I mean, that's so key because at a school like Cape May, you could go top of the hierarchy with autism and go all the way down. I mean, it's so like the diversities and disabilities are so different that you may not even know what you're working with day in day out.
And that's so true. And what we do is, we work very hard while the students are in school. We start at the age of transition, that, moving up to age 14, and we work with the students all the way through the tail end of middle school and all the way through high school to determine, where they see themselves. And so we try and, really focus in on the students' individual preferences, I call them their pins, their preferences, interests, needs, and strengths. So where do they see themselves? What are we working on when we're in our in-school vocational programs? What are the teachers doing in the classrooms to support those things, so that we're gradually preparing them for that work-based learning and that CBI program. So it's definitely not something that happens in a year or two. It's a multi-year system that we have in place.
That's good because a lot of students don't work well with a I'm going to call it a shell shock system.
Absolutely. And so it takes a lot of preparation. It takes a lot of support from school staff to make sure that students are ready for working, outside of the school setting. And we do start small. We'll have students that maybe only go out one day a week for a couple hours. And then in a few months, we try 2 days a week for a couple hours. And we gradually work up for some of our students that might need a little extra support and have some time to feel comfortable and feel that sense of confidence that they need to be successful at their location or at that work site. We're definitely very individualized. Some kids get out there right away and they just hit the ground running, and some other students might need a little extra guidance and support along the way. We kind of let them decide, and they tell us what they need. And we make sure that we support that.
Oh well, that's good that you're having the students' mind, student input first before your own. I don't like to talk about this, but I feel like I have to. The mental health situation during COVID, it's not been easy on anyone by any stretch of the imagination. I've mentioned this several times over the course of tonight. Have you had any advice for anyone going through a mental situation because of what's going on, especially with schools? Because there are a few still virtual, still hybrid. What would you say?
I would say try and reach out to others for support. We all need, to be able to have communication and feel a sense of connectedness with other people. So whether that's a virtual situation or, meeting up, if, outside when the weather breaks, just having other people. There's try and find something that you enjoy and do it. Make time out of your day for that self-care. So if it's exercise, if it's, some kind of just socialization with other people. I think when we went through that period of isolation where many of us felt like we were stuck at home and we didn't feel that sense of connectedness, now it's time that, we can get back to some sense of normalcy of, being able to meet up with others and find things and get back to things that we enjoy. Fresh air does everyone good. So on days when it's nice outside, take a few minutes, go outside, take some time to get some fresh air, feel the sun on your face. But I really feel like that being together with other people and talking and not being afraid to say that, you feel like things have changed. We've all changed in some way. So, being able to talk openly with other people and just say, like, if you are feeling down, if you are feeling upset, if you are feeling isolated, reach out to people and let them know, because keeping to yourself, it's only going to make things worse. So I really feel like it's important that we all have somebody that we can go to, we can talk to, to let them know how we're feeling and how maybe they could help support us.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I mean, thankfully we're not in that situation, but anymore. But I just had to bring that up because there was still just a small fraction of that going on. Friends, I've said it uh, countless times tonight. Please, please donate. Faces, these organizations cannot survive without you. We've had a rough 2 years. Uh, I would be remiss if I said we were hitting hitting a curve or a plateau. I strongly feel within my heart that we are. Please donate. These organizations need it now more than ever. I hope sooner rather than later we can go back to even more normalcy. We're starting slower, but let's see, can we go back to even more normalcy by the summer? I think that's everyone's hope right now. Thank you. And